Good afternoon, everyone. This is Carissa from Passageways. We will start the webinar here in just a few moments, so hang tight. Okay, we are going to get started. Do we have Jesse and Sue on the line? Jesse, are you there? Okay, Jesse, are you there now? You should be unmuted now. Okay, hang tight just another moment. We're having some technical difficulties here. Sorry about this. Okay, give us just a moment here. They are dialing in, so just hang tight. Sorry about that again. Jesse, are you there?
Yes, Sue and I are both here.
Hi, Carissa. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for joining. Sorry about the difficulties here. Just let everyone know we just switched to a new software, so we're still trying to learn the ropes of it. But thank you, Jesse and Sue, for joining. I'm going to do some brief introductions and read a bio from Jesse and Sue before we get started here. So again, everyone, my name is Carissa Fritz. I am the Manager of Customer Success here at Passageways. Thank you for joining us in our first 2017 Besties webinar series. Today, we're going to take a look at the nest. This presentation was selected by peers as the winner in our Best Implementation category this past May during our annual conference powwow. Before introducing our speakers, I would like to address a few housekeeping items. We encourage you to ask questions during the presentation, and you can simply send those through chat, and we will pause and address those questions at the time, or we will hold them till the end, depending on the question itself. So make sure if you have questions to, ask. This presentation will also be recorded, so we can provide that to you following the webinar today. Our guest speakers today from Simplicity Credit Union are Jesse Lacheski and Sue Campbell. Jesse Lacheski has been a member of the Simplicity Credit Union team for 14 years. In her journey through her career at the credit union, she has worked as a teller, accounting representative, accounting supervisor, and had an integral part in starting and supervising the call center. She has acquired a wide variety of experience, including Six Sigma Green Belt certification. Using that experience and training to work with the Intranet project team at Simplicity Credit Union and Passageways has been a rewarding challenge. She recently joined the IT department, using her years of experience to make her team's lives simpler. Suzanne Campbell joined Simplicity Credit Union team as a part-time teller more than 17 years ago. While at the credit union, she has had the opportunity to work with teams both large and small in marketing, training, frontline supervision, human resources, and sales and service. She brings a wealth of experience, including Six Sigma Green Belt certification, to the day-to-day challenges and rewards in her current role as communicator of awesomeness. Working with the Intranet project team at Simplicity and the staff at Passageways has been the highlight of her career so far. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Sue and Jesse to share their bestie. Jesse, what you can do there at the bottom of your screen is hit the show screen button. When you do that, if you guys are planning on playing the video, you can also select share computer sound, and that will allow us to hear the audio of that presentation. Okay.
Wait. Yes. we're looking and reading and figuring things out, and we're going to rock.
You are. I have no doubt.
And then here comes the magic, everybody.
Yeah, we're waiting. Thank you. We can see your screen.
Awesome. So here we go, and we begin. So can you see our full presentation?
We are seeing the presentation, the slide view.
Slide view.
I think we need to, yeah. So I think we need to look at the other side there.
Jessie has about 7,000 monitors, so.
7,000, lucky girl.
How about that?
Perfect. We're good to go.
So here is our story. As Carissa mentioned, the project that we did for our Six Sigma Green Belt certification was focused on our intranet. We are a credit union in central Wisconsin. We have 7 different locations, and one of the things that we were looking for in that Green Belt project was to focus on better communication. We were using SharePoint as our intranet. We had tons and tons of files out there. We had all of our announcements out there. And eventually it ended up being a little bit of a problem, didn't it, Jessie?
Oh, yeah. It just became folders and folders and folders and folders of documents. We are finding that a lot of the documents were out of place. They were duplicated and just almost nearly impossible for us to find.
The phrase hot mess comes to mind. So with all of that happening and people wanting better communication, what we found in the process of our project was that truly our intranet did not have very many fans. So we decided that we had to make a change, and this presentation is our way of letting our friends know the real story behind the change that we made with our intranet. You ready?
Yep.
Make it happen. Jessie's going to start our video. And you should see it in a second. Okay, can you see the video screen?
No, we are seeing the slide still.
Okay, so do we need to, oh, screen sharing is paused. Resume share. Ooh. Can you minimize that and bring up, how about that? Now can you see it?
No, it paused it.
It paused it again.
We are still seeing the slideshow. So when you hit share screen, also make sure to click the share computer down there at the bottom, and then you should be able to select the video there.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
How does that look?
Okay, yep, I see you guys.
Yes.
All right.
And away we go.
This group was making beautiful music together, but it wasn't long before their relationship fell apart.
SharePoint, we thought we could trust you.
What? I've got all this great stuff for you.
This is not what we want at all.
Tonight, on Behind the Portal, the Simplicity Story.
When it all started, it was going perfect. I mean, we just had this great rhythm going.
Hey guys, how's it going? Anything I can do to help?
Oh, thanks, SharePoint. Can you show us that Word document I saved a few minutes ago?
Yeah, totally. Actually, I have it right here.
Thanks, SharePoint is just what we need. You're the best.
Hey, anything for you guys.
But then we started to notice that things were changing.
It was subtle at first, but then it became obvious that trying to keep SharePoint organized and in our group was becoming impossible. SharePoint, what is that?
You know, don't worry about it. I mean, it's nothing. I got this.
It's not nothing. How are you going to handle all that?
I mean, really, once I get through it, I mean, trust me, it's fine. I got it.
SharePoint was taking on everything people were just dropping on them, and we just started to lose control.
Hey, SharePoint, I'm looking for that spreadsheet to track classroom visits. Do you know where that is?
Oh yeah, easy. It's right here. You just go into this folder, and then you go into this folder, and then this one, and it's right there. There you go.
That seems a little not simple, right?
Don't worry about it. I got this. Hey, no worries. Thanks, buddy.
Eventually, we knew we couldn't work that way anymore.
SharePoint, we thought we could trust you to keep this organized.
What? I've got all this great stuff for you. Look, I mean, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
not what we want at all. I don't think we can go on like this anymore.
We had reached a turning point, and we knew we had to make a change.
It was tough because we'd let everybody do whatever they wanted with SharePoint, and it was such a mess that we didn't know where to start.
So we decided to end that relationship and start over with someone new.
We had to audition a ton of different portals to find one that was right for our group.
It seemed like it took forever.
We had to audition a ton of different portals.
And it took us like forever. Oh my God, it took us forever. Some of the portals we looked at were just too small.
Others were completely out of touch with what we needed.
And then we met passageways.
Okay, I totally get it. You need document storage. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put it all in one place, and it's not gonna turn into a mess.
That would be amazing.
I know. Absolutely. What about employee recognition? How do you feel about that?
Like, all in the portal?
Heck yeah, all in the portal. We can also do blogs. Yeah, like get information out to everybody all at the same time.
Whoa.
Speaking of communication, what about forums, goal trackers, help desks, employee directory? You know what? It'd be easier if I show you. Let's go to your enterprise package.
Okay, first of all, wow, how did you do that?
Super technical stuff. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so here's your landing page.
Listen, this is cool and fun looking, but what does it do?
What doesn't it do? You got drop-down menus that give you one-click access to every page for every department, info about the credit union and the people that work there, plus links. People need links, you guys.
But what about all that other stuff you were talking about? You know, blogs and forums and goals.
Oh my! Did you see what I did there? Sure. All of that and more. Look at all those buttons. Now everybody in the group will get to the same thing in the same way because it's easy to get there. Look at this.
That is one sexy blog.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. There's all kinds of things that you can do with the blogs, like telling the whole group what's going on or what you're putting out to the rest of the world. I mean, there's a ton of ways to communicate if you really look at it. See that button for help desks? You can build one to track work orders in IT, request to compliance, track referrals.
But we're not website nerds. Are we really going to be able to do all that?
Yeah? How does drag and drop sound to you? Can you do that?
Oh, for sure.
Perfect. Then you can handle this.
That is all awesome!
Let's do this!
Yeah! So yeah, the rest is history, I guess. Once we got the nest in the group, there just was no looking back.
She just makes life better, you know?
Aww!
With the drama of creative differences behind them and the nest in their corner, Simplicity has definitely got their groove back. Thank you for joining us for Behind the Portal, the Simplicity story. This group was making beautiful.
We liked it so well, we wanted to play it twice.
That
Okay,
was wonderful.
let's get back.
Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome.
Do you want to maybe walk through the nest a little bit, maybe show some new things that you guys have been working on?
Sure. We're getting back to where we're sharing the right things again. And then Okay, sorry about that. Can you see our screen now?
Yep, we're good. And just to let you know, we've had a couple panelists say that that was fantastic and that was awesome. So great job on the video.
So this is our landing page. This is pretty much what you saw. The only difference that we would have really is that the anniversaries and birthdays, and we added new hires to that scrolling image in the middle there. Let's see, what do we want to show off? What do you want to show them? We go to the Volunteer Center?
Sure.
That's a thing that's relatively new. One of the newer initiatives this year that we've added since we implemented was to get our staff to volunteer, and we set a goal of 600 hours of service for our staff for the year. So we created a volunteer center where that includes the help desk in the upper left there so that we can track hours. Then just a groovy little picture on the right. In the lower right are just some scrolling pictures of some of our staff and the volunteer stuff that they've done, as well as a calendar for volunteer opportunities. So if there's something that the whole credit union can get involved with, or somebody reaches out that wants to get some boots on the ground, we can put them on that calendar and people can see the stuff out there. Otherwise, the volunteer tracker, really, we ask people to track any volunteer hours they do. So it's personal stuff with the church, stuff with their kids' schools, and things like that. So that's a newer page. Anything else? What else do you want to show them?
With our employee recognition, we call that our pat on the back. Pat is our CEO. And we did this in a way so that we could incorporate our core values. So we have a different one for each core value. So we have cooperation, creativity, dependability, integrity, and leadership. So we are excited that we're starting to take advantage of this. We're getting our staff using this quite a bit more frequently now, and just kind of get the staff engaged with recognizing each other and building that teamwork and that communication.
Definitely. Another
Perfect.
Sorry?
Oh, I just said that's perfect. Yep, keep going.
Oh, awesome. I'll take it. Another thing that we've started to use pretty robustly is the blogs. And the one that you see in the video happens to be the marketing blog because I am in marketing and I am totally biased. Oh, look, and it happens to be that the top one is also marketing because marketing can't shut up. But if you look to the right-hand side, we have got all kinds of categories. Almost every one of our departments has a blog available to them, including when we came back from Powwow, one of the things that we added is a blog just for our Nest team. So we named our portal the Nest, and oh look, there's the announcement. We decided when we came back that we could do a better job of communicating out what we're doing, what feedback we're looking for, and what things we can do to improve the portal. So we created a blog so that we could get information out to people and make them aware of things that we might change and let them sort of comment and give us their input on things as well. And then there's all kinds of other cool stuff too.
We have a couple questions, Sue. Someone asked if they could see a department page and just kind of how you guys navigate through the portal, like on any, if you navigate to a department page, how do you get back home, and that type of thing.
Sure. Okay, so I will take you, just because we have played around a little bit with the marketing page. That's our marketing team. on the top there, and this is our page. And all of our department pages have this tabbed island on them, and sort of depending how involved that particular department wants to be with using that, and if it's something that helps them communicate, it's available to them. We also, in our department, chose to add some more information, including the social media engagement tracker here. We have a brand ambassador program at the credit union, and for our brand ambassadors, who are people outside of the marketing department, we want them to be able to see what sort of engagement that we're getting on social media, and there are some incentives built around that. What is cool about navigation in our portal is that we have it set up so that this whole top banner bar takes us back to the front page. So that makes everywhere that we go so much easier to get back to where we need to go. We really wanted to, we knew that people certainly on our team were smart and capable enough to be able to use that left-hand menu if they need to get from one place to another. But one of our biggest goals was to make things very, very simple. And we thought, you know, if we can make it so that you only have to make one click and barely have to think about it, that'll make your life a lot simpler, make your job a lot easier. So that is one example.
Awesome, thank you for that. Another question we have is, some of our employees forget to track their service hours. We do a monthly reminder, but do you do anything different to ensure your employees are getting in and entering their hours?
We also do a monthly reminder. We have, as I said, we have a goal to get 600 hours, and there is an incentive for the whole credit union if we meet that 600 hours. And so what we'll do is I'll send out a reminder as we go in to gather that data, because we gather it monthly, and it's part of the reports because we're tracking that through the marketing department. It's part of the reports that the marketing department submits to the board. So ahead of time, I'll send out a reminder just saying, if you haven't put your time in, put it in now. We have it set up so that we have a field for the date of the service, and then we pull the data. The report is set up so that it's pulling that date of service. That was because I knew that I was going to be having to go through that, and I wanted to make it very simple to see and calculate on the back end, so that way I can tell people, even if it's, you know, it's June now, and if it was January and now you're remembering that you did it, still go and put it in there. It'll still come through, still be easy to track. So I send a reminder out before I pull the report for the month and put it in the engagement report. And then I'll send something out just to let people know where we're at as far as those hours. And as of the last month, we are just past 50% of our goal. So we're at about 350 hours of service so far. So yeah, that is definitely one of those things that requires a constant reminder. I have seen a couple of people that do a lot of volunteering who have put a reminder on their own calendars to go in and enter it at the end of the month. And that's something like we've encouraged people, if you can't remember to do it every time, pick a time in the month that you can remember to do it and set yourself a reminder.
Great. Someone has a request to see the news and events page. So news and events, it used to just be the news. That is just a very simple all staff announcements page. And then we added, in that tabbed island, we added an all staff calendar. And that is meant to, a couple of things that it does. Number one, if there are big events that everyone at the credit union needs to know that are not just department events. And then also number two, if you can see, let's see, is that the 18th? On the 18th of July, you see an entry there that says to Marshfield from Stevens Point. We have offices, our two largest offices are about 45 minutes apart.
and we try to ride share as much as we can. And so the other thing we put on this event calendar is if somebody who normally works in one office is spending the day at another office, we ask them to put it on the calendar, so if someone has to go sometime that week and can go anytime, that we can ride share and save a couple of trees as long as we're at it.
Do you guys do any social media feeds through the portal, such as like your credit union, you know, Facebook or anything like that?
My gosh, we don't, but after I get off the call with you, I'm going to.
Well,
we
thanks
haven't done
for
that.
the idea, Lisa, because Lisa asked about that. Are you guys tracking like your page hits and things like that and adjusting content accordingly?
I want to lie and say that we have, but we haven't yet. We really, for us, it was such a process for implementation, and it has been really, we've been so focused on just getting every little piece done that we haven't gone back and looked at metrics yet. So, but we actually, that probably is somewhere next on our agenda, because we are sort of considering a relaunch.
Yeah.
And
and keep in mind, and I know Brenda asked this, that is a reporting tool in Ensemble 6.0. I know you guys aren't upgraded to 6.0, but we do have a tool called Ensemble Analytics that allows you to pull things like page hits, popular users, does a variety of document tracking and things like that. So I do want to just mention that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
You have
okay.
6.0 in our sandbox.
Sorry, Sue, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we do have the 6.0 right now in our sandbox, so we are in the process of testing that so that we can kind of be prepared for when we upgrade, you know, our Nest to that 6.0, we'll know all of the changes that we need to go through and make, you know, just for adjusting for those different advances and changes with the upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Another question we had is, someone would like to see you guys' products and services.
Ooh, that one we are just implementing this year. So it has a good start. Probably if you go, I think almost everything is in savings. Savings is pretty well put together. So we broke it out by those big broad categories. There were a couple of things in the products and services that as we've implemented, we sort of debated back and forth of what we wanted to do. As you can see on the lower right-hand side, we added the suggestion box. Because we know, we basically put together a committee of people that were our product experts and asked them to provide all this information. And we know that as we move forward, things will change. People will maybe have a different sales queue or a different frequently asked question. And so we added a suggestion box, which links to a form on the Nest and will shoot out to everybody on that products and services team. So that is one of the very small bell or whistle that we added.
Okay, this looks great. How do you guys store your documents? So, like the sorting and categorization of your documents throughout your different departments.
So we have all of our documents in the portal or the document repository. We don't really have, we don't have any public folders. So usually how the staff will access the documents is primarily just from using the search function. So because staff are not coming into this document repository, we basically broke down how we stored the documents based on who needs to have read and write access to that document. So you can see here we have probably the biggest one that we've got here is for read all, so all staff can read it, and editing it is limited to the portal admin. And so then we have all of the documents listed in there. That way we do have oops, wrong button. We do have a couple, you know, that are, we have like an IT department where we put out IT information. And then within that, we have one where only the IT department is able to read those documents.
One of the reasons that we decided to go with our repository like this and not make it a sort of a, people can access it. It is technically public to them. We just know if they go and look at it, they will have no idea where to go for anything. So we didn't make it accessible where they would come here looking for things, primarily because on our SharePoint site, the document pages were really the only thing people used, and they were folders deep. And it was such, people knew exactly where to get the thing that they needed, but if you didn't know what you were looking for, the documents and the folders were overwhelming to look at. And we thought, if we can just not let them know, not make them look at that, and they can just throw something in the search. And we have found really the search is so robust. I think things are so easy to find that it's been, even without being able to say, I can go click, 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 and find it, all I have to do is type in, you know, a very limited amount of search terminology, and it's going to end up in that list. I think that makes things a lot easier. We do also have started to link some documents, so common documents, to some of our department pages as the departments request it. And what we don't want to get to is, let's see, I think if you go on forms, they have them under forms. What we don't want to get to is them saying, well, just link everything that we have, every form we'll ever use, because realistically, that is too much information, and it just becomes a mess.
That's awesome. And you guys will really like in the Ensemble Analytics too, there is a popular search term, so you can identify what are people searching for as well. So that'll be helpful for you guys.
Probably fantastic.
Can you guys talk a little bit about the implementation? Like as far as, you know, how many people you guys had on the team, how long did it take you, those types of things?
So yes, we started our project in, was it 2013? We started our project in 2013, and it did not take us 4 years to implement Passageways. Don't, Ensemble, don't feel that way. But the first part of that project, we really explored to see what people wanted, and we tried to take what people wanted and use the solution we already had to make it. And where we ended up making the decision to switch portals was when we realized that what it would take for us to implement the kind of ease and the kind of access that people were looking for was a dedicated SharePoint developer. And we in no way have a dedicated SharePoint developer, nor could we afford to add one to our staff. And so we went looking for something that our team, oh, and that's the other thing. There were 3 of us on the project team, Jesse, myself, and then our VP of Administration, Darlene. And so Jesse probably has the most IT, although she wasn't in IT at the time we started the project. She has the most IT experience, but really none of us were developers, programmers, IT experts in anything other than the things that we needed to know to do our jobs. So I think from the time that we decided to go with Ensemble to actually being able to put it out to the staff, which was right after Powwow 2016?
No, so
Just
we,
before?
yeah, so we got the portal at the beginning of 2016. So starting in January of 2016 is when we actually started the process of building our pages, building our departments. And our first powwow was in 2016, and that was May, and we had launched and put the nest out in April of 2016.
Okay, that's right. And then also, just as a side note, you see all of the branding on our portal. We also changed our name and changed our branding as a credit union in June of 2016. So we built everything in our portal to match that new brand.
Awesome. Good to know. Thank you for that. As far as your procedures and forms, where would employees go to get those? Are they primarily using the search, or do you have like a dedicated spot for them to go get those?
Basically, the dedicated spot is the search, unless as a department they decide that they would like that listed on their department page, then we will link that to their department page.
Okay. Do the different departments manage their pages, or do you guys primarily take on those responsibilities?
It is set up so that each department can manage their own page. So far at this point, we still are doing a lot of that managing for them as they are starting to learn more and more and become more comfortable with using the nest and basically kind of taking that control themselves.
Right. And we've had a fair amount of reorganization too in departments. So the people that when we first rolled out the portal would have been administering the pages, there are different people in those seats, and so, and Bestie and I are control freaks.
I understand. Okay, well, good to know. Do we have any other questions from the audience? If so, please shoot those over. Is there anything else you guys would like to share? Jesse and Sue?
I think the one thing, if I'm sitting here staring at our front page, the one thing that we've done among all of the other things that we changed to add a little more interest and a little more communication, one of the things we changed from how we organize things on SharePoint to using the Nest is, if you look on the right-hand side, you see rates, fees, and disclosures. On our SharePoint site, it was a ridiculous amount of duplicated work. So we had a rate sheet that was saved in one folder and was intended for staff to be able to see. We had a different rate sheet, and these are those are like our savings rates or our lending rates. Those are savings rates. So we had one spreadsheet that was available for the staff to see, one that was available only to management, and then we had completely separate rates on our website. So what would invariably happen is a rate would change, someone who could make the change on the sheet or update the sheet in the spot where it should be wouldn't update it. And then something like rates, that's a very important thing to get right. So what we ended up doing with our rates, our fees, and disclosures is, rather than saving those as documents within the portal, all of those link directly to what we have on our website. So that as our video said, it's something where there's one spot people can get things. That means we have one spot to keep it up to date, and it is always going to be the same information no matter who's looking for it. So.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we've got a couple people saying great job and thank you. So thank you guys for that. So as we wrap up today, I just want to highlight that next month on July 26th, we will be having our second webinar in our Bestie series presented by Community Credit Union of Florida for their best innovation for their relaunch of the sandbox. So that information will be coming out from your CSM and your monthly update, so stay tuned for that. And yes, we will be sending a recording out following. So if you don't get that from your CSM, feel free to reach out and let us know. But yeah, that's all you guys have, Jesse and Sue. We definitely appreciate your time and are excited to see what you guys have to share with us next year at Powwow.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, everyone have a great day. And thanks again, Jesse and Sue.
Thank you.
Bye.